Hey everybody, so Diablo 4 just dropped one of its biggest patches yet, and this isn't just bug fixes, this update completely reworks some talismans, it buffs entire builds, it fixes broken systems, and it quietly makes endgame way smoother. But here's the thing, a lot of these changes are buried in pages of patch notes, and some of them are way more important than they look. So today I'm breaking down everything that actually matters, from massive power changes to hidden fixes that could completely change your build. Let's start with one of the most underrated but important sections, talismans. First off, we just got a huge quality of life upgrade on it because set charms now have a unique drop sound, a distinct minimap icon, which means that no more missing insane upgrades because they blended with trash loot. That alone is pretty massive, but the real story here is clarity and consistency. For example, the Rogue's Nilfer's Narrow Eye set now clearly states that its bonuses only work when Vengeance is active. And that might sound small, but if you've ever built around something that wasn't actually working the way you thought, you know how big that is. Now, Druid players, you quietly just won because the Storm Shepherd set got completely reworked. Here's the key change. Before, the 2-piece bonus only buffed the skill that triggered it, and the 5-piece bonus overrode the 2-piece. Now, the 2-piece buffs all storm skills, and the 5-piece stacks with it. Yes, it stacks. That is a massive multiplier shift. Now, they did nerf the max bonus from 75% down to 40%, but let's be honest, buffing every storm skill instead of just one, I think that is net gain for basically every storm build. And then there's the Mark of the Old Wolf. This one is huge for poison builds because damage over time multipliers were added. So poison bonus is now multiplicative instead of additive. That's not just a buff, that is the kind of scaling change that can push builds from decent to broken. Now let's talk about system level changes. Two bosses, Echo of Mephisto and the Echo Enhanced, have been added to the party finder. This means easier grouping, faster farming, less downtime, which is a huge win for endgame players. Now here's the underrated feature that they also added, is that now you can teleport directly to any active war plan. If there isn't one active, it sends you to Temis. Now this might sound like a simple change, but this cuts out a ton of unnecessary travel time, especially if you're grinding efficiently. Now, war plans were a little messy, and Blizzard clearly knew it, and this patch fixes a ton of issues that were breaking progression, they were creating exploits, or they were just straight up frustrating. Now, here are some of the biggest changes. Bosses like Barshan could spawn repeatedly in a single wave. Nemesis layers could be infinitely farmed. Rewards were sometimes wrong or unintended. Progress could reset when logging out. And possibly the most annoying one, party members were getting kicked after failed runs. This is all now fixed. So some of the exploits for infinite boss farmings are gone, so rest in peace to that. Now, also important is that monster power scaling is now persistent after death. Rewards are more consistent. Map tracking and objectives are supposed to be more reliable. So basically, war plans should now feel like more of an actual system and not as much as a gamble. This patch also includes one of the largest bug fix sweeps we've seen. And while it's easy to skip this part, this is actually some of the biggest gameplay changes that we're going to see. So across all classes, skills now properly scale with modifiers. Buffs no longer randomly fall off. Cooldowns and charge mechanics actually work correctly, and that alone changes how builds performs. Now, here are some class-specific highlights. On the Warlock, sigils now scale properly, movement speed and cooldown effects are fixed, and resource stats are corrected. On the Spiritborn, Multiple skill interactions have been fixed. There have been some patches to damage bugs because some were way overtuned. And then lastly, on the Paladin, damage reduction and stacking were fixed and missing effects were restored. Across the board, minion builds now properly inherit stats, damage over time scaling is more consistent, and some legendary and unique effects are behaving correctly. So, translation, your build is probably stronger now, even if nothing got buffed on paper. The pit also got some love, and this is big for grinders. There is increased monster density, there is more elite spawns, there's more cursed chest, there's better reward spacing, and the goblin hordes now spawn stashes and anvils. So now runs are not just faster, they are more rewarding. Overall, this patch does three things really well. It fixes broken systems, it improves build consistency, it speeds up endgame gameplay, and honestly, this is the kind of update that doesn't look flashy, but once you actually play it, everything just feels better. And that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my content and you want to support the channel, there are a few ways that you can help out. First, drop a like on the video and share it with your friends, family, or anyone you think would enjoy it. It really helps the channel grow. Second, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you never miss a future video. And third, if you would like to support me directly, you can do so at allbashgaming.com. In there, you can buy me a coffee, and now you can also rep the channel with your own merch. You can grab your Loot Goblin t-shirt or the classic "It's not a glitch, it's a tech" t-shirt over on my shop. All the links you need are in the description. Thank you again for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. See you in the next one.